Lots of real estate wholesalers get the exact same problem every time from sellers. I need to think about it. Your offer is way too low. I know I can sell it for higher, and all these different objections. And what happens is that you don't realize about what is called the problem solution cycles. Most of you wholesalers think that there's a problem with your leads, generating high quality leads, or getting more leads than what you can actually handle, or even changing another marketing channel or doing the next course. But the problem really is coming down to your conversion process. And a lot of you don't even think about this. I'm gonna explain to you in this video why this is so crucial for you to understand what you can actually do. Because if you keep having these problems and these objections and you don't know how to handle it, there's many different objections that can happen during the call, before the call, and you need to eliminate them. That's the actual key. If you don't know who I am, my name is Esteban Andrade, and I own a company called Hustle Media, where we get sellers from motivated seller online funnels. And these motivated sellers come from online marketing, whether that's Google, Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok. And in the past 5 years, we've actually worked with over 400 real estate wholesalers and investors, where we have actually tracked millions and millions of dollars in advertising spent and made millions of dollars for our clients. So I know a thing up to. I've actually also learned under different people like Jeremy Miner or Cole Gordon, even Jordan Belfort, and I've read hundreds of sales books like Never Split the Difference and Spin Selling, or even different books from different gurus in the real estate wholesaling space like Steve Trank, RJ Bates, or Eric Klein, and these people that consistently claim themselves to be the best gurus for the real estate sales industry. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now my honest feedback about this, and I want you to understand exactly why this is so crucial. Most of wholesalers start generating a lead and then blame the lead or the source or the channel about that lead quality because this lead is giving you trouble, you can't close the deal, and you can't do anything about it. Well, let me tell you right now that it's all your fault. So if you feel targeted, if you feel triggered, it's because you have not actually figured out and dove deep into your actual problems right now, into your operations. So what does that mean? You currently have marketing, you currently have sales, you currently have fulfillment with TC and Vispo. You also need to hire the right people, right? And what happens when you don't do this correctly is that now you start having these gaps into your company from day one. As soon as you generate a lead and that lead is not converted, you get frustrated. But if you do get lucky and that lead is, for example, 1 or 3% of the leads of really distressed homeowners that really need to sell their house, well, you're gonna think that every single lead is exactly the same, but that's not exactly how it is. Leads need to be nurtured. Leads need to be worked. Leads need to be respected. And if you don't know how to do that, then you better check out one of the sales process that either one of these gurus that I'm gonna tell you about in this video have actually given to you either for free or for cheap. I'm gonna tell you my process and how to do this. The first step is gonna be doing a proper pre-sales process. Your marketing funnel actually should pre-sell people before they coming and talking to you, before the lead is even generated. And this can be done by different funnels that you can run online, such as video marketing or static pictures marketing, and you make them go through another journey where you actually tell them exactly who you are, what you can do for them, how you can help them, the proof that you actually can do all of this, and what is that they have to lose. And now they have been indoctrinated into your company, so now it's easier for you to have a conversation with these people. Now, once you actually have generated the lead, you have to have a system that is automated and also semi-automated with humans, where you call in this lead really quickly. The reason is because you have to have conversations. Without a conversation, you're not going to have a deal. And most people can't even get a hold of the leads as soon as they come to your funnel. And that's why they're going to go and blame the marketing channel that these leads are bad because they're not picking up the phone. The thing is that you're not quick enough. So speed to lead is something you have to always do in every single marketing channel or funnels that you actually create. And that's 2 minutes after the lead has been generated to have a quality conversation. But in order to have a quality conversation, in order to actually have a real sales process, you have to start with the discovery call. That's the first step. Discovery call, this is where we actually are going to triage this seller and qualify this seller to make sure that this seller is a good fit for us. And this usually would go as an introduction, and this usually has different steps. I'm going to leave a link of the discovery call that we currently use that has been a combination of Jeremy Miner stuff, Cole Gordon stuff, Steve Strang stuff, RJ Bates, Eric Klein, because we've actually been learning sales in the last 4 years. Now, mind you, I come with an engineering background. I'm not a salesperson naturally coming in and working in these call centers or selling people. I just have a personality that may make you think that I am actually a salesperson, marketing person born this way. But no, I have actually read many books. Going back to the discovery call, you start with connecting with that seller. It's making sure that you actually can match this person's energy and talk with the seller in a human level and break the ice in many different ways. So, hey seller, yes, hey, I noticed that you're looking to sell your house. This is confirming that you actually are going to talk about selling the house and you need to sell the house. So a confirmation could start building rapport and ultimately talking about how their day is going, how their energy is, and kind of what is going on with them. The second thing is you gotta be able to set an agenda or set the frame. This is where you set the tone of the entire conversation. Without doing this, you cannot gain authority, you cannot give social proof, you cannot sell them on the idea of how this call is gonna go, and they may take over if they are someone that can drive a conversation better than you. So always have a frame or an agenda, and a lot of different gurus teach this, but a lot of different gurus miss this part too. I'm going to tell you right now is the biggest hack that I've learned in sales is to actually set an agenda or set a frame. The third thing, and this depends on who you learn it from, but you can dive right into the motivation, the challenges, or the pain point. RJ Bates loves digging into the price right away and then coming back into the price later on by actually asking the seller what price are they actually looking for this house, so they can actually gauge where the seller is at and then dive into the motivation right after that. But where you actually start digging into the motivation, you want to dig into their pain points, into their challenges, and into their current situation. Jeremy Miner and NEPQ actually talks about you have to use situational questions where you find out where the seller is right now in their life and what challenges, what issues this problem that they currently have is causing to their life. So you have to use proving questions and Socratic questioning in order to understand the seller deeply and go deep into what really is triggering this sellers to actually reach out to you, call you, book an appointment with you, so you know the current situation. Then the next thing, you gotta be able to find their desires. So first, find the current situation, then find their desired situation. And the reason why we wanna do this is because we gotta find a gap. This gap is essentially what is going to trigger emotionally this seller the idea that they need to work with someone like you. And this is what NPQ calls the buying gap, or the process in order to actually make someone emotionally so good, or the process of making someone emotionally available to you so you can ask any question and you can get anything out of them. Then according to the process you're following, you should be able to get some of the buying beliefs that these sellers has, which could be limiting beliefs that this seller may have before they actually sell the house to someone like you. This could be asking questions that will trigger urgency. What's the time frame? When are they looking to actually do something like this? And why? What's behind that? Who has the power to influence them? Is there any spouse? Is there any partner that actually influences the seller to making this decision? You got to figure that out. And why is this something that is going to be influenced by this person? You also got to be able to ask about the pricing financially, where they are. Why do they want that money? Why do they need that money? Make sure that you actually understand what they feel about this by asking Socratic questions. And then start asking questions about the property so you can actually create doubt in their mind that they cannot do this themselves. And then consequential questions that will let them know, hey, if they try to do this themselves or don't do anything about this, something is going to happen and it's not a positive experience. So that's why you're going to be able to ask all these questions. And I'm going to leave a link to our current script and framework that we have been using inside of our company that we actually have modeled from different companies like RJ Bates, Steve Trank, Eric Klein, or others like NAPQ, Jeremy Miner, and Cole Gordon. After you're done with the discovery call, now you have actually pre-handled a lot of the different obstacles that you may have, so that whenever you're ready to give an offer, now you have all these things pre-handled, all these objections already gathered, where now you can handle them ahead of time. That's the best way to actually handle an objection. In fact, in the script that I'm going to give you, it shows the step-by-step and the explanation of why we're actually asking all these questions. After this, you're going to be able to actually sell the idea that you're going to have a game plan to actually buy their house with a new method. And I like to call this the pre-game plan methods, or the marketing that you do prior to actually getting into the offer call, which is actually the second step to the sales process, where it's going to go to a offer call or a game plan call about buying the house. You can name this however you want to. It can be an offer call. It can be a home buying method, or the new home buying method of X and Y company. This is the secondary call where you're actually going to sit down with the seller and going over everything, where you're going to be doing a recap about their current gap, where you're actually going to dive deep and pitch this seller in a way that they actually feel compelled and that this is going to actually solve their problem and potentially give them a great offer. Remember, you cannot give a seller an offer if you have not gathered everything from the discovery call. All these buying beliefs, right? That you have not also gathered the trust from the seller, the pain points, the desires, whether they're the decision makers, whether they're financially capable of getting a close offer like what you're actually going to give to them. And if all of these things are actually met, including all these buying beliefs, it's best for you to actually pitch. And this is where it's a second call. Eric Klein actually likes to hold the call and then tell them that you're going to go and talk with the underwriting team and then do an offer right after that by doing a pitch. Other people like to set up a secondary appointment where it's going to be something exclusive for them, something personalized, customized, and this appointment is where you're going to try to close them. Now, this could be a 1-call close or a 2-call close if you do it well. If you have a 2-call close, you can have a junior acquisition or appointment setter ultimately doing the first call for you, but this person needs to be good, or having the acquisitions do the entire process. So I always recommend that you start by having your closer or your acquisition do all these two processes until you actually now start plugging in all the systems for that appointment setter to actually be successful. And that acquisition person needs to be you at the beginning. In the offer call, that's another structure, another framework, another process, but you got to be able to actually prepare the seller to make a decision in that call. There's many steps to go about this, but you can learn this from RJ Bates, Steve Trank, Eric Klein. These are my top 3, my most favorite people. You can also follow Jeremy Miner and Cole Gordon. They explain it really well. Even Alex Hormozi is someone that does this really well, explains it with his closer framework. But that is what you got to do in order to actually remove any objection. And then if the objection comes in, you got to be prepared to actually handle that objection. So your offer is too low. Well, you probably didn't dig properly about why do they think that the offer is too low. So now you got to ask the question like, why do you feel that the offer is too low? Or what do you mean by that? You have to have also a framework to handle these objections as well. And different gurus actually teach that. And you will get adapted to talking to sellers and handling these objections over time. And if you do it well, you'll become an expert in this. Your conversion go up, and you're not going to actually blame the marketing channel, the lead source, the agency, the paper lead, your VA, your employee, whatever. No, everything is your fault. So if you always think that everything is your fault, that means that there's always a solution, because now you have the power, the control to actually find something to make this work. That's how I think. That's how I've actually run my business. Right now, I'm sitting in Miami here inside of a Cybertruck, and I wanted to teach you guys this lesson because it's very important for you guys to actually do this. I've run a company for the last 5 years. I have a community called Ariapreneurs, and I teach this in my YouTube channel. So if you like everything that you heard from this video and I want to dive deeper into this, I'm going to teach you everything that I know for free. If you have problems with sales, if you have problems with lead generation, marketing, with your organization, with your operations, with hiring, follow this channel, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to give you more of these videos. I already have a few other videos that dive deep into all these other topics. And I'm going to put another video where I dive deep into the script framework and potentially go over what the game plan call actually looks like. And as a bonus, I'm also going to tell you how you should pre-sell your sellers, what to send them before, such as a video sales letter or different emails and text messages that you should be able to send them in order to indoctrinate these people with you. Or after that first call, what to send them, what to tell them exactly. So subscribe to this channel. I'm happy that you're here, and let's get it. Remember to hit that like button to help the algorithm so more people can see this. And let me know what other topics you would like to learn.